I don't think us businesses take enough interest in the domain knowledge that we have and that we build up and manage it and feed it and care for it as we should do. I think, you know, when SAS were looking to buy a company in the public security market, they come across Memex with 20 years experience, and you know, brilliant, it's just perfect. But it's not the 20 years experience, it's the knowledge that you've built up over that period. It's not just experience, it's much more than that. And we've you know, hired people in from our industry, from law enforcement. That gets you some of it, but this is a massive barrier to entry to your market. And you know, Willie will have it as well. He must have loads of domain knowledge now. When you look at his customers, and he gets that from working with customers, working closely with the customers to make sure that what he builds really fits. So I think that's a key thing that's often understated in your business, is building that. It's okay for the sales guys, they kind of get it, they're out spending time with customers, but we at Memex, we've had to then look at how we build our products and develop our software tools, and we've totally redefined how we do product management over the last few years, and we really try to get very close to our customers when we're building new products, and getting close to potential customers as we look to develop the software. So we've had to change that. What we are doing though is getting all our guys, not just the salespeople understanding, or the people you brought in from the industry, but the whole company understanding what the market needs and building it. And I think that was something that's really important to do. And you can do that when you're here at home first, and I think that's the most important thing to do, because once you start to go international, you know, you then really have to look at how you're going to take those three things and adapt them to the international stage. You know, so what are the lessons that I've learned? And again, I echo a lot of what Willie's said already on the business. But you have to get it right at home first. You've got to get your good team on board here. You've got to get your products built here that are fit for purpose. That are going to sell around the world, and then you've got to build this market and domain experience, and all that takes time. It all takes a plan, and it takes money. It doesn't have to take a lot of money, but you have to really plan for that. When he talked about sales agents, resellers, OEM contracts, you know, we've kind of done all those things initially. The one that I would say that we have the most experience in is selling direct, and I was going to talk a little bit about what was done in the US. Yeah, I see this happen with loads of Scottish companies, and you know, Willie's been quite successful doing it. Back in the 90s, when I first started getting involved with the international side of business, we would go out, have a week full of meetings on the Friday night, have a few beers because the week had been brilliant. We'd fly home, we'd sit by the facts, because it was that how long ago it was. Nothing would happen. So guess what? Next month we'll go do another week. We'll get out, brilliant meetings, all want to buy your stuff, looks brilliant. Come back, nothing happens. And you can do that. Sometimes you're lucky. I know some companies have done all right from that, but you can eventually just run out of money, because sometimes nothing can come from that. And I think that's it's not a long. I don't think that's a long-term strategy to really run your business. We took a plunge probably in the mid-2000s to invest in the US. We'd already had some sales by doing it the method I just said. Not a lot, but we realised the potential. People were looking at our products, saying they want to buy, but really you need to then. We realised that we really need to set up an office out there, and we had some customers in the Washington area. You know, clearly with some of the agencies we work with, we set up out there initially. Hindsight tells me we could have set up anywhere, because our business, you know, like going international, just doing business in America, whether it's, you know, if you're based on the East Coast, you've got the same issues trying to sell in California, because it's another, 3 hours time difference, as well as like a 7-hour flight. So that's a challenge. Setting up your office, you've got all the issues again of recruit good people, you know, finding people who want to, who have some entrepreneurial spirit, because I think a lot of times you go to these countries, other countries, there's just people who want, yeah, I can take your product, I can sell it, but I need to have a 20-man team. And you know, when you're trying to bootstrap a business, you're not really in that position to do that. You know, I get asked, what would I do if I was going to do it again? If I was going to try and start, if I was in another company trying to start the business in America, I think the first thing I would do is, if I've got my good team here, I would either have me or a trusted lieutenant go out for the next 2 years, spend that time, get them to try with me, try to recruit their replacement for the future, because I think at the end of the day, I think, you know, local people like to buy from local people, right? We've heard it, we can have our guys out, we can have agents, we can have VARs, but at the end of the day, we can put a team of Scottish folk out, which I've done, put lots of guys out there working in California. None of them want to come back, surprisingly. But at the end of the day, when you're going on sales calls, I think it's really important that they speak the same language, understand the same cultures, and it really is about having local people involved. But then, you know, that keeps it open to all the different aspects of how you can go international, as we've said, through the partners and going direct. Willie said, yeah, I just made a note. I had to rewrite half my notes listening to him this afternoon there. No one can sell your own product like yourself, right? And I think I look at SaaS, right? They have offices, not just offices, but fully serviced offices, you know, in over 100 countries, where they have their own people selling their own products. Hardly ever use partners. Right? We've tried everything. Hardly ever use partners. They only use them really for when it comes to doing some implementation work, but the selling and the management of it, they do it all themselves. I think what you've heard is I've probably done something slightly different to how Willie's done it. He's had some success doing it in some other ways, but at the end of the day, you know, there isn't that one way of doing it, one right way. There's no cookie cutter approach. There isn't a book you can just read saying doing international business, be successful. Maybe we should write that. It'd be a good one. John said it. You know, there's loads of people in the exchange who are doing it right now, who will gladly, for the price of a cup of coffee, talk to you about some of the things that they've achieved and advise you and give you some help. You know, I've talked to folk about sharing offices in the past. Just having somewhere to go is always good. You know, Scottish Enterprise and SDI do that as well. So there is lots of people that you can talk to that can help you. I also do some things with the Scottish North American Business Council. Anyone that's looking to do a little bit of a plug for the SNABC. Anyone looking to do work in Canada or the US. Lots it's lots of events, lots of people who are trying to do business out there who've been there, seen it, done it. You can see the names. CBI wasn't in this morning. I know Ian McMillan was talking. Great supporter of Scottish industry and Scottish businesses. Again, CBI, it's like any of these things here, they're only as good as the effort that you put in. You know, if you join and don't go to them, well, then it's probably just a waste of your money. But if you want to make use of them, there's great organisations that you can use. I guess I'm just going to finish off and just say, you know, it is all about just getting the right people on board. Because how you choose to take your business international, any of the things we've talked about today, or how you choose to grow your business, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because what works for you will be what works for you. But if you don't have, you know, good people, A players, people who have the same ambition, share the same vision as you, then you've not got a chance, really. I think that's what it comes down to. Having those people around you, it's like a cup of Starbucks every morning for you. You know, it's great to have good people around you. It can only make you much more enthusiastic. And I would encourage everybody to come to all these sorts of events and, you know, join the exchange, come and meet other like-minded people, because, you know, these events are the same same. I go to exchange events and it's like a sugar buzz. You know, you come out feeling fired up, ready to have another shot of it, even if you've been knocked back a few times. Alright, so that was me. I'm glad this I had gone, because I think they might have had problems with my funny accent. So I once had to do a presentation in Mexico City, a lovely place. So, and then when I got there, they said, "Oh, David, we've got a translator for you." And I had to talk a little bit like this so they could get it. Mind you, their English was miles better than my Spanish anyway. Okay, thanks a lot.